Hey everybody, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. I'm JR. That's Coconut. Coconut's not impressed with being out here right now. I'm out here. There's no information in this video. First and foremost, let's just start with that. Um, you're not gonna learn anything here except some personal stuff about me. Um, so if you're here for information, there's none. Coco, what are you doing? You gotta stay up here, honey. It's a little cold out here. My little heater is not... It takes a long time to warm this space up. I might get a torpedo. Anywho, I'm having a hard time deciding how I want to start this video and what I want to talk about. First of all, the first thing I want to talk about is 20,000 subscribers. That's amazing. I wanted to do a video when I hit that milestone precisely, but YouTube was having some issues. They were removing subscribers, or I don't know what they were doing, but my count was like going backwards, and I couldn't get an accurate count of it. So it was hard for me to hit it on the head. I sat at like 19,555 for most of a week over the holiday period here, and then bam, I was at like 20,300 or something like that. But that is awesome. I appreciate you guys, every single one of you who watches, who subscribes, who likes, who shares. Even the guys that don't like me, I'm cool with that too. Thanks for watching to everybody. That's a big. When I started, in seriousness about 2.5 years ago, I never thought. It was like October of 2017 when I pulled the engine for Daryl from the Weller self-serve in Grand Rapids. And I never really thought that I would get to 20,000 subscribers or even 10,000. That was a big milestone for me. So thank you guys for all the support and all the help. Which kind of segues into the next thing that I want to talk about. I did a video on the toolbox, and that's what I'm out here doing, is trying to clean up this bench. And if you're a long time watcher, you know that I actually have cut down on it a bit. I'm trying to get things into the box, get things organized the way I like. And I did a video on this box because the boxes are kind of popular and videos are kind of popular, but it seemed like a few of them were lacking. So, I thought I would do my own with my own spin. Just a moment here. Coconut! No. Coconut will chew herself bloody. She's a little ridiculous. Anyway, so I wanted to do my own spin on this cart. My wife got it for me for Christmas. I'm really happy with it. I'm really grateful for it. I wanted to be able to wheel the tools out that I need specifically. I wanted to have a little power. I'll go over this stuff in another video that I've done. And what I like about what I've done and what I don't like about what I've done. But anyway, one of the group members on the Facebook group saw it and put up a post on Facebook, that Keon, he put up a post that he would like, to, because I mentioned in the group, in the video, that I didn't like that shelf and I originally wanted to get a 44-inch box to go in that space. So he put up a post and said, hey, there's 4,500 members or whatever. If everybody chips in, we can get the guy a box. Which I laughed at first. If I'd taken it seriously, I probably would have taken it down. Because that's not who I am. And that's not what this channel is for. This channel is not for me to get free parts to go racing. It's not for me to get, like hashtag sponsored. It's not for any of that. It's really for me to share the stuff that I'm doing that I think is cool, that I also think other people can do if they want to do. I think that there's a lot of stuff out there, and not everybody watches every video. Most of you are here for LS stuff, but I have a Jeep now. I have my little off-grid solar generator there in that box. I have other stuff. I have a go-kart that I'll get to eventually. I want to share projects with people, and I want to reach the people who think this kind of stuff is cool Coconut's thinking about jumping off there. Who think this kind of stuff is cool but are intimidated. That's who I want to reach. The guy who says, man, I've always liked cars. I've always liked hot rods. I've heard about these LS things. I've heard about these go-karts. It would be fun. But I can't do that. That's who I want to reach. The guy who thinks that looks like fun, but I can't do it. I want you to know that you can do it. And I don't ever want this channel to turn into, like, you turn it on and you see me doing something and you're a reasonable, like I put up in the Facebook group earlier, I make YouTube videos for working class Americans because that's who I am and that's who I care about. From Tommy Boy. And that's the truth. Like, that's who I am. I am a middle class person on a middle class budget with 2 little fat dogs and a wife. And, you know, some of you have more money than me. Some of you have less money than me. That's all fine. But if you're a reasonable person, I want you to look at these videos and be like, man, I could do that. My garage looks like his. My tools look like his. My budget looks like his. I can do that. Look at that. Look how easy he made it. I can do that. I can wire up some nonsense and tune my own PCM. So when Holly reaches out to me and says, hey, man, if you could quit bashing our product and quit telling people they don't need a Terminator X, we'll send you one for free so you can see how great it really is. I say no. I say no, thank you. PSI reached out about harnesses, and I actually accepted that, and then they fell silent because I was totally going to compare it, and I was totally open to doing that. Let me see. It doesn't matter. I don't need to keep naming names. Companies, big name companies have reached out to me and said, hey, can we give you some stuff that you can push on your channel? And I declined because that's not who I am, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to set a record. I'm not trying to have the fastest thing in the world. I'm just trying to, like, show other people that you can do this too, so that our hobby keeps going, right? Like, the more people in the hobby, the longer it keeps going, the more people fighting against, you know, goofy laws and emission stuff and you know, just stuff like that's a problem. So back to the subject of, you know, the, hey, let's all chip in and get JR a 44-inch cabinet. That really took off. And they started a GoFundMe, and they raised the money in like 8 hours, which is incredibly humbling. I'm really honored that you guys would come together like that for me. I'm not in charge of the GoFundMe, by the way. It's still up as far as I know as of right now. But I want to make sure that this is grassroots hot rodding. Like, yes, there's my turbo log right there. Yeah, I have a turbocharger, but it was $165. Yes, I have, you know, an LS engine, but it was $224. And you can do these things too. Probably. If you're a reasonable person in good health living in America, you can definitely do these things. And I don't ever want you to tune into the channel, see something, and think, man, I couldn't do that. You know, Roscoe is a $600 Jeep with a bunch of miscellaneous crap on it. Like, yeah, it'll be pretty cool when it's done, and I think personally cooler than average, or at least cooler than average for the money spent. But you can do it if you want to. Even if you're not into Jeeps, it's something you can do. Some of these other channels, these guys, they blow up, they get successful, and you know, I owe a lot to these other channels that went before me. They inspired me. But in my opinion, you know, maybe they've lost their way or whatever. Or they've just moved on and they don't care. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to judge anybody like that. But I don't want to move on. So I don't want to. I am very appreciative that everybody came together to buy me a bigger box and stuff like that. If I had like Richard Holdner's resources to run a dyno all day, I would test a lot of silly stuff, but it would all be junk stuff because I want it to stay at the roots of what hot rodding is all about, and what, just being a guy out in your garage with your little fluffy dog or your cat or your giant pit bull or whatever. Doesn't matter. Your pirate flag, listening to some Motley Crue, drinking some cowbell, and having a good time. That's what it's about. So thank you to everybody. I'm sorry this is a long ramble and I don't usually do this. Thank you to everybody who watches. Thank you to everybody who subscribes. Thank you to everybody Thank you to everybody who watches, everybody who subscribes, everybody who likes, shares, comments, everybody who's in the Facebook group, everybody who follows me on Instagram. Each and every one of you, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's good to get good feedback, and I love it when you guys show up and you're like, hey, look at this thing that I made, and I watched your video, and I went out and made a thing, and it cost me $84. Like, that's the best. That's the absolute best. That's what I'm doing this for. That's what I want to see. And the comments I got on the GoFundMe were a lot of, I gotta go in pretty quick. Coconut's getting pretty impatient. The comments that I got on the GoFundMe and on, the post on Facebook were a lot of, hey, you inspire me. Hey, you saved me a lot of money. Hey, I was going to do something, that I didn't really need to do and go down a path that I didn't need to go down, and you saved me from that, and I appreciate it. And here's $10, $20, whatever. And I don't want the money, but I do love the stories. I love that it helps you guys. That's the best. I love to see your projects. I love to see you guys out doing burnouts and having a good time. So thank you everybody for watching. It's a new year. Same me, not new me. We got Jewel upcoming. Roscoe is more or less wrapping up, but Jewel will be upcoming, and Daryl will be getting ready to go into daily driver status. And that's something I've been struggling with, but we'll talk about that in another video, because again, I want to make sure that I keep things reasonable for everybody watching and following. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, so if you like it, keep watching. If you don't keep watching, because I'm not going to stop. So everybody, be safe out there. Enjoy your new year, and thank you to everybody so much for watching, and everybody who donated on the toolbox. Thank you. Everybody who didn't, that's fine too. You're not at all obligated, like at all. So I'm really, really touched by that, though. That was a really big deal. So thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time on The Driveway Engineer. See ya.